All right, let's bring to the stage Kumail Nanjiani. Hi,
That is the most rock and roll face anyone's ever made to this song.
Kumail Nanjiani.
I love that song.
I'm gonna call out your name next time I'm making love.
Is it to me?
No, it's just because I like the sound. Kumail Nanjiani.
That's actually what I do.
Yeah.
I say, "You've been Nanjiani'd," and then I...
You know what's weird is, you know who else does that? Ben Stein. And it's not... Ben Stein!
Also weird, I yell out Kumail. Well, we're, if you love...
Kumail Nanjiani! Enigma, 1995.
Do you know, all that reality talk is interesting because I just watched, I'd never seen it, the first season of Real World. They were re-airing it.
Oh, really?
And I just watched it, and it's sort of the first reality show.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to watch a reality show where the people don't have, like, reality show personalities
Where they
yet.
weren't raised on a reality show.
Yeah, and they're just sort of being themselves, and it was a very positive thing.
You watch them discover the Flint Rock of eliminating the black guy.
Exactly.
Like, you watch them go like, oh, Kawan is very antagonistic. You noticed that too? And then afterwards you watch them institutionalize. Like, what if you did a show where they had to eliminate the black guy?
It's totally amazing because it's exactly that. It's stuff that happens sort of organically. I mean, there's still cameras, but then later they're like, all right, we gotta do this. At the end of the season, they just decide and they grab all the cameras and they start interviewing the interviewers, and it's a very real, organic moment. But I bet at some point they were like, all right, okay, what you guys do now is you have to pretend that we don't know, and you come and steal the cameras from us.
I'm like the Forrest Gump of reality TV because in the 90s I remember I remember being in Milwaukee in the 90s when they were starting to talk about how they're going to make they're making the show for MTV. It was like, which was still a channel where they showed music videos. It was like they had Beavis and Butthead and they had some other stuff, but it was like still largely like we were all making jokes like, put some music videos on. But it was the joke was because they were still supposed to make music television, and they were working on this thing, and it was called The Real World, and the whole idea was that these kids were living in this house, and there was going to be cameras everywhere, and it was ironic. It was ironic. Like, everyone that heard about the idea was like, what? What does that mean? Like, what, if there's cameras everywhere, then they're not going to... No, what they're doing is they're going to have the cameras everywhere, and they're not even going to have film in them like right away, and they're just going to get used to it. They're going to get so used to it. And it was like this whole thing. It was introduced like this Kubrickian experiment.
Such a crazy thing that it was crazy back then, and now we're like,
crazy. And so then, like, there was a point. So flash forward to me in Los Angeles, Thanksgiving. I just moved. Like, Schraub was there. I was there. I'm sitting at Thanksgiving because we had no family in LA. I'm sitting at my agent's house for Thanksgiving. I'm sitting next to this weird little Australian guy, and I go, "What? So what are you working on?" He goes like, "Oh, I'm working on a reality show. It's been big in Europe, mate. Shrimp on the Barbie, whatever." I think it was Australian or something. I don't know. Whatever.
He sounds like he might have been deaf.
I'm almost reasonably certain, like, piecing together the evidence. I haven't specific. I choose to believe it was Mark Burnett that I was talking to.
Is he Australian?
I don't know, but it was.
Seems like the easiest thing to find out.
I don't want to because I don't want to know.
Yes. He is.
Okay, so because sometimes that people go, I think you were sitting next to Mark Burnett because I was at my agent's house.
That's amazing.
She was a hot shot. And I was sitting next to this guy with this accent, and he was telling me about this show, this reality show, and he goes like, "Yeah, it's huge in Europe. They put everybody on an island, and then they eliminate. This was the elimination thing was becoming like a thing." And I was like, what the fuck? That sounds insane. But wouldn't they just eliminate that? How would that work? And he goes, no, but they eliminate the strong people first, and then the middle of the road people kind of take over. But more than that, they're also like eating each other alive, and they're having sex with each other. And I was like, oh, that's going to be a hit. I said it. Give me my money.
That's going to be a hit?
Yeah, I was from Forrest Gump.
You totally are, though, because...
Wait, turn it off! Then, I'm sitting in my apartment, My girlfriend at the time calls me. She was a studio executive. She calls me, and she would used to call me after a day at work. She would call me from the office because people would pitch her shows, and she would go, "Oy vey, like what am I like? I got to talk to my writer boyfriend. I got to get some release from this insane industry." On the heels of Survivor, the world is exploding. Everything's changing. I remember talking to her from my one-bedroom apartment on the
That
phone.
was your like tipping point for the world changing was Survivor? I thought you were going to say 9/11. I mean, I guess
9/11
not so.
hadn't happened yet.
Oh, right.
It was before 9/11.
It's Survivor time.
You realize Al-Qaeda did what they did because of reality TV.
I guess that's...
You know that they said, like, oh, I know how we... obviously, we can look...
I hope the story ends with you meeting an 8-year-old Kim Kardashian.
No.
Where she's like, oh, I'm never going to be anything. You're like, you can be whatever you want to be. And then you gave her the confidence to be horrible.
My girlfriend called me up, and she said she would call me up every once in a while. She'd go, I just heard a pitch for the show. Buckle up. You ready for this? These people, they're on an alien planet, and one of the guys is in a wheelchair, and the gravity is weird, so every once in a while he can walk. And I'd go, ha ha ha. Later, Lost would have a character like that. But she calls me up, and she goes like, so listen to this. So this is a pitch I just heard for a reality show. A man who's rich, he doesn't have a wife, and but he's rich, so all the women compete to be his wife because he needs a wife so bad. And I'm like 20 whatever year old Dan Harmon going like I'm saying in response to hearing this concept, I'm going, fuck you. No fucking way. Society can't go there. It's impossible. Marriage? The institution of marriage? This is before Who Wants to Fuck a Midget, literally premiering. Like everything just exploded like a mushroom cloud to the point where one day you were allowed to be like frazzled by any of it, and then the next day everyone had beaten you to the